we didn't even have to go outside. That wind was really rocking some of our windows earlier today. And yeah, as far as those power outages, this makes sense, right? Because in Hillsborough County around Brandon and Willow Oak, there were reports of trees down on power lines. Now, these are just straight line winds. We did have the rain move through, but really the wind came after the rain. And we did tell you that, well, it's bringing in the colder temperatures too, right? So we're getting even colder from here. But look at the peak wind gusts. Clearwater, you guys had a gust at 51 miles per hour. When we're talking tropical storm force gust, that's stronger than that. Well, it's around ballpark. But Brooksville, 43 mile per hour gust. Tampa, 48, and St. Pete, 49. Sarasota, 47 mile per hour gust. Looking at our marine forecast, still very rocky out there. Not a day that you want to go boating. Tomorrow, too, still going to be breezy. Seas are between 5 to 7 feet. And very quickly, we do have that weather impact alert that's starting up tonight because of the cold temperatures on the way. So we're going to talk about that in more detail coming up next few minutes. The words right out of my mouth. Yeah, we have a freeze warning that's in effect. Goes into effect tonight, but really you should take advantage of any of those warming shelters while they're open. Don't wait until the last minute to go get cozy at them, right? This goes until Monday, 9 a.m., and it's for most of our area. You can see Polk County highlighted in that, portions of Hillsborough County. Now, I do want to point out that a small sliver closer to the Gulf, not included in that freeze warning. That would include portions of Pinellas County and Hillsborough County. The only reason for that is because it's closer to the water temperature in the 60s. So it does have a little bit of influence on the temperatures on land. Everyone else, however, highlighted in the purple under that freeze warning. We're just talking a few degrees difference, by the way, for those areas that are not under the freeze warning, just a few folks. But everybody's under a cold weather advisory. In fact, this cold weather advisory extends for a large portion of the state. About 90% of the state is under this cold weather advisory. So what this means is the cold weather advisory breaking down that places will have wind chill values when you factor in those breezy winds feeling like the 20s. And the difference from the freeze warning would be, well, we are expecting conditions, freezing conditions for areas. So the actual temperature will be at freezing, not incorporating the wind. All right, we had snow today. Did you hear about it? Yeah, getting deja vu, right? We had snow last January, although it was 9 to 10 inches. This year is more of a dusting. You can see it extending from the Florida Panhandle all the way up through Georgia, portions of southern Alabama as well. Here at home, or I should say in the States, not at home, but we had snow totals that were really just a dusting, but some areas managed to get an inch of snow. Mariana, I'm looking at you. Look at that. I'll step out of the way so you can see all those totals that I gathered from the Florida snow report. So certainly not comparable to last year, but still enough to talk about. It doesn't happen all the time, snow in Florida, but does happen from time to time. This is second year in a row, though. As we look at the weather impact alert for tomorrow, again, that's for the cold here at home. It begins at midnight, just aligning with those freeze warnings and cold weather advisories issued by the National Weather Service. But again, it basically, temperatures are going to start dropping as soon as the sun goes down, which is about now. The impact would be the freezing temperatures and those wind chills. And what you need to do, bundle up, bring the pets inside. You should already be protecting your plants. Low temperatures for tomorrow. Again, this is not factoring in the wind. Generally, we will be in the 30s, some areas dropping into the 20s. Not quite as cold as Friday, but we're only talking a few degrees difference. We will have temperatures in the 40s for places like Clearwater, St. Petersburg, Tampa. Again, the influence of the water helping those folks out, not quite at freezing for those locations. That's why they're not under that freeze warning, but they are under the cold weather advisory. For tomorrow, again, there's your planner. In the afternoon, we will manage to thaw out a bit, warming into the upper 50s, but that's still well below average. There's that front that brought all of the trouble today with those gusty winds now moving out of our area, but the winds will stay with us for the next few hours. It will take a while for those winds to calm down. Right now, wind speeds are anywhere from 10 to 15 miles per hour with occasional gusts up to 20 miles per hour. 7-day forecasts here. We do make some improvements as the week goes on, thanks to some sunshine. Since we were just talking about the wind and the temperatures, Annie mentioned how it's in the 40s. Yeah, she's not wrong. She has been paying attention to the forecast. Now, the Gulf temperature is actually at 64, but still very unsafe. The peak wind gust today, very strong. We had gusts maxing at 40 to 50 miles per hour. The winds are still strong enough that there is an ongoing small craft advisory. That advisory has been in place all throughout the day, and it's lasting until tomorrow morning because the winds are so strong. So please, that means small vessels, including kayaks, you should not be out on the water. Now, that advisory, the small craft advisory, expires at 7 a.m. tomorrow. But I would still be careful because it will be breezy out there. We also had a couple storm reports earlier today of some trees on power lines. So if you were out without power, that's why those winds were strong enough to knock over those trees and knock out some power. Now, talking temperatures, we are going to feel these temperatures dip lower and lower as we enter into tomorrow morning. And that's just Tampa. Some of our northernmost locations getting even colder than that. We're going to show the rest of the region coming up in your full forecast.
And our weather team is keeping you up to date with live streaming shows twice a day.